and welcome to episode 12 of Space Wars. Let's get into it. So last episode, many things happened. Maybe not much, but today's the final episode of the series. I'm bored of this. Get me out of here. Yeah, so we're just gonna end it. Starting with the Jupiter thing. Because, well, when we look here, the rockets are very close to each other to reach Jupiter. The American rocket is here and the Chinese rocket is here. American, Chinese. But one day, right before the Americans reach Jupiter, the Chinese blow up the American ship. And this is going to warrant a lot of attention from the Americans. The Americans are mad, and they are going to be sending a secret mission artillery plane to India. And this plane is going to be taking off right here in Nepal. Yeah. And when it takes off, it's going to start by going through the Tibetan mountains. And eventually, it will go out of these mountains and straight toward Beijing. This is at like supersonic speeds, so it gets you within like a minute. That's how fast it is. And about 30 seconds later, it reaches Beijing. And guess what it does to Beijing? Some not so great things to Beijing. For one main reason. And that reason, bam, nuclear bomb dropped on Beijing. And this nuclear radiation spreads everywhere to a lot of places. And well, it actually is such a big radius, it affects all of Korea, all of Japan, and spreads all the way around, even affecting small parts of the Burmese Indian territory, and affects all of this territory here. And well, China is very mad at this. So well, the square lines China's going to declare on the square lines. And some other nations are going to be joining in on the war. Yeah. And now we can look at what China immediately does at the start of World War III. As the Chinese wrong layer. As the Chinese will be invading over into the Afghanistan area and the Persian area, and within a few days are able to fully capture the Persian region. And the Chinese, being the strongest nation in history, are going to be able to take out the Turkish area and the Mesopotamian area within a few days. And Egypt. This is all within a few days. And very quickly, the Chinese will also be capturing Berlin and basically blitzing Europe. Even Switzerland, which they take within a few minutes. And, well, the Americans sort of expected this, but the Chinese are just too overpowered. And the space empires fall apart. I've lost the map, by the way. As the space empires, all of the colonies are headed over to China, and Europe falls within a week. Yeah, India, still being the strongest, is going to be putting up a fight against the Chinese. And well, this is not going to go so well for India, as the Myanmar area is taken over by China. And well, we can see that this area is taken over. But then, America leaks a special Chinese project. A project to open what is known as the Vortex. It's basically, people don't really know what it is. But it just got leaked. And China is seeing this is going to continue or make their expansions into India even more rapid as they go ahead and take over the entire Indian area. Yeah. But America is scared. And there's not really much America can do. Because the Chinese, being the Chinese, are going to make even more powerful nuclear radiation. Nuclear bombs land on the entirety of the Americas and the Pacific. As America and all of the Americas get absolutely destroyed by these giant nuclear bombs that are destroying all of Africa and basically the entire world at this point, as China just launches a bunch of bombs everywhere, and even their own territory for no prior reason, and the world becomes the giant nuclear mess called this thing. Yeah. And it's not good at all. Because, well, Africa is just obliterated by all of this mess. And so is South America. As South America is just gone. China's nuclear radiation is too powerful. And it starts to spread across the world. Yeah, I can erase this now. Because all of Europe sinks. And Europe basically sinking. China, well, loses their hope. Yeah, they basically just give up as they just let the entire world sink. And they realize what they have done. They were going to contact Alex Einstein from the alternate history of the world universe because for some reason they got contact somehow. And Alex Einstein, being in the middle of World War II, is going to say no. And well, what happens is China becomes this, and this is all that's left of the world. And China has won World War II. But at what cost? The entire world is gone. Now it is. Yeah. In that. But basically, China is then going to press what is known as the button. Right before the water sinks in, the vortex opens. And when they press this button, the entire thing doesn't sink. But a giant vortex comes and destroys the planet. And giant swirls go around the entire universe. And the one remainder person is going to decide is seeing Wixo. Wixo, alternate future altogether. This event in history is going to be known as the Vortex. And that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed today's episode of Space Wars. Space Wars is finally over. See you in this next video. This series will never happen again. Bye.